So just found out our car's out for repossession, which has some irony to it because the last time I was here in San Antonio, I was in this exact same situation almost 10 years ago. And so I'm sitting on the floor talking to my wife, and I think I said something to the effect of, I just don't know what the Lord wants from me, especially just after everything. And then I looked down, and tucked into the corner between two parts of the bed, I see this little rock. It says faith. Now, you might find that to be coincidental, so let me give you a little more backstory. So, before we moved back to San Antonio from Rhode Island, which we'd been there for about 5 years, my whole world had once again gotten turned upside down. The company I was working for got wiped out by COVID. The CEO called me up, told me basically we had 60 days to make a decision about what we're going to do. And then the company was out of business. And the timing of it was wild because we had 60 days left on our lease. Just kind of like everything was converging on that spot. My wife was pregnant. I mean, it was all of it simultaneously. And so I'd been praying about whether to come back here or not. And, I was really on the fence, and I wasn't sure. And finally I just told the Lord, I was like, Lord, like, I need a sign from you, some kind of just absolutely clear, unequivocal sign. And at the time I was praying this, I was out mountain biking on a trail that I'd ridden numerous times. But somehow I came around a corner that I guess I had not ever been to, and there was a boulder the size of like a truck. It was huge. And painted on the boulder, I can't remember exactly what the verse was, but it was one of those verses that was on faith. And it was such a clear, like, it was one of those signs that you just can't. I mean, I'm literally praying this prayer, and I come over this hilltop as I'm praying it, and right there is a boulder the size of a pickup truck with a Bible verse painted on it. And the Bible verse was huge. I mean, it was as tall as I was. So now, fast forward to being back in San Antonio again, dealing with the exact same situation I was in before I left to go to Rhode Island. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, literally, like, almost the identical situation. So I was out walking on the trail that I make most of my content on, and I once again kind of took like a weird turn, ended up in an area that I hadn't been in before, and I stumble across this little blue rock that says faith. And so at the moment, I picked it up because I knew it was for me, um, and I brought it with me. And this was probably about a week ago. And somehow my daughter got a hold of it, and I didn't know where it went, and so I just hadn't really put much thought into it until just this moment where I'm sitting on the floor talking to my wife, telling her I just don't know what the Lord wants from me, and here's this rock sitting there tucked into the corner of the bed. And of course, it's no small irony that the last few days, I think I've put out maybe 3 or 4 different videos specifically addressing faith, and not just faith in, like the day to day, but literally your whole worldview being oriented in faith, because that's what it takes. I mean, I would love to say that in this moment I'm not rocked. I absolutely am. I mean, I may not seem like it, but it is so frustrating to be back in this situation again. I mean, it is difficult to put into words how incredibly frustrating it is. But with faith as a worldview, okay, with faith as a worldview, the lens that you view the world through, it gives you the ability to believe for good, even when everything in you is saying that there is only misery coming your way. The interesting part about all this is that my heart has always been to be in the creative space. And not like stuff like this. Like this is calling. The Lord's called me to teach the word um, and to help people understand him better. That's my calling in life. But my heart, the place where I feel like I'm able to be the most of who God has built me to be, is in the creative space. I mean, I've written multiple books. I've got tons of ideas for that are kind of in that creative space. But for a lot of my life, I had people that kind of diminished that part of me, and I got into proving and focusing on proving people wrong, proving to people that I could, do the money thing and do the business thing and all the other stuff, because I don't know, because I guess ego, maybe. I don't even know. I mean, it's like, it's so stupid. It's like I spent a lifetime doing things I really didn't care about, almost to prove a point that I didn't care about. And in a way, I feel like it's like I've come full circle with the Lord once again, saying, will you trust me that I'll provision you to actually do what's in your heart to do? And the truth is, I want to say that I trust him with that, but for 20 years I haven't, because that's my heart. That's the part of me that doesn't. That's the part of me you can't take back. Like you try that, and I mean, what this is why most people don't really do the things they're passionate about, because it would be devastating to find out that the thing you're truly passionate about is something that you can't make it in. But in my soul, here's what I know. I know that if we are being who God has designed us to be, and that doesn't always line up with what our passion is. So I want to be clear. It's not about what you're passionate about. That's not the point. It is about having the courage to be who God has designed you to be uniquely in this world, and then allowing the circumstances of your life to form around that. Because I think what happens, in fact, I know what happens, is that many of us, we desire a certain set of circumstances. And so we will create the circumstances. We'll do whatever is necessary to create the circumstances that we want. And then those circumstances become the prison that prevent us from ever becoming who God designed us uniquely to be. This was literally the trap of the rich young ruler. He built up a set of circumstances around himself, and he loved his circumstances too much to be able to drop everything and follow Jesus to discover who he was uniquely made to be. This is what the world needs. The world needs you and me to have the courage to step out in faith and be who God made us to be. Whatever that looks like. Whether that is the thing that replaces our vocation and it becomes the way that we earn income, or whether it's something we do separate from the thing that we do to earn income. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that the world needs the unique thing that God has placed in each and every one of us, and we have to find the courage to be those people. I'm preaching to myself as much as I'm preaching to y'all, so don't think I'm calling anybody out here. I'm 20 years I've been here in this place, masking my lack of faith with diving deeply into faith and diving deeply into business and diving deeply into teaching the word and all kinds of things that have no effect on me if I fail at them. All the while holding back the thing that actually has an effect on me, which is my heart. And ultimately, if some of you are in that same place, that's what the Lord's after. He wants our heart. Doesn't care about your mind, doesn't care about any of the other stuff. Doesn't care about your things, doesn't care about your money. He cares about your heart. And not just your heart, but the part of your heart, specifically the one that's the most honest, the one that you don't show anybody, the one that you protect with every part of your being. Because if that part got broken, it could end you. That's the part that he wants. And that's the part that I think the rest of us in the world need from each other.